Hey good people, welcome back to Beauty in the Frizz. My name is Cara. Whether you're new or returning, thank you so much for stopping by and hanging out with me, and Tyrone will be here too for what I want to be the final declutter. I have a lot of palettes to go through and we're just gonna knock it out. So this is gonna be a long one. So get a snack, get something to drink, or not, whatever you wanna do. And if you want to see me go through the rest of my palettes and have a final palette count, keep watching this video. Let me know what you think. And if makeup is your therapy and your love, if it makes you happy and you want to hang out with someone that feels the same way, definitely consider joining the community. I'd love to have you back. All right, let's get started. So y'all, first of all, let's talk about how I was down to 248 palettes and I was real pumped. I'm like, this is looking good. And then I was looking at my spreadsheet last night and realized there were palettes in my collection that I had not included, like the Lancome palette that Tyrone gave me, because I was going to declutter that, so I never put it on the spreadsheet. Let's just go ahead and say that I'm up to 256 palettes from 248. Anyway, let's just jump right into this because we need to get this together. You may see some surprises here, and another surprise is this. I am doing a trade back, you guys. I don't know if that's allowed. Y'all know how I feel. I really have had a hard time with this Mothership Mega, and I'm not gonna like harp on it. I know with me, sometimes a year later, I'll finally like something. So I'm thinking with this, I'll put the pink back in maybe. I still don't like it. But anyway, this is the first time where we've seen these mattes from Mama Pat, well, for the most part. And the mattes are really good. The shimmers are okay, but I'm gonna keep this. But I can't keep this without giving something up. Is that cheating? I don't know. There's no cheating. This is my declutter. I am going to declutter the Mystery Ink palette from Notoriously Morbid. Just from the beginning, and this was gifted. This palette just really didn't call to me. It's cute, but I really don't desire to wear this at all. And I think that is going to be a better situation for my collection. So I'm going to go ahead and stick by that. We're going to get into two palettes by Urban Decay. Now this is my first palette, Born to Run. Not ready to part ways with it. Honestly, I think the performance is fine. Again, first palette. I mean, do I reach for it? The answer is no. But this was just a great palette, and it still is great. Like, just swatching it, you know what I mean? I'm going to keep this one. Oh, and y'all already know, if you know me, Game of Thrones by Urban Decay. Love this palette. Love Game of Thrones. Huge fan. Reading the books, rewatching the seasons, all of that good stuff. This was just such a great collab. I mean, this is when they really got it right with this collab. And let me show you. Got the chair here, the Iron Throne. I mean, this was just awesome to me. And then you have the houses. Honestly, am I wearing this palette nowadays? Not really. This is more of like nostalgia. I can't say that I would never wear this. So I am going to keep it in my palette count for now. I think they did an amazing job with this palette. All right. This is the original Blends palette by Blends Bunny Cosmetics. This is the only palette I have from the brand. This is a 30 matte pigment, and it's just great for having a rainbow palette, but then also having the transition shades. These mattes are really, really good. This is a great palette, and if you want to make colorful looks or neutral looks, if you like indie singles, this is a great palette where you can pair them with your singles. So I'm going to keep this one. All right, I've got my Patrick Ta Major Dimension palettes. Here's number 1, and I also have number 2, and I am going to keep these. I really do like these. The shimmers in 2 are better than 1. They do have a tendency to be a bit hard panty, but there's something about like the monochromatic nature and gradient that I really enjoy about these palettes, and I also really like the cream shades, and I love the matte shades. All right, these next 2 palettes are by Lunar Beauty. This first one is Moonspell. This is a really nice palette, you guys. I had Moonspell 2 and I sold that one. This one's really nice. As you can see, it has not really been worn a ton, you could probably tell. I am not really finding the desire to use Moonspell, and I don't really feel a connection with Lunar Beauty. So I wasn't thinking about this at first, but I am going to declutter Moonspell. I kind of just want to stick to my gut feelings on this because I really have so much. Eternal Eclipse is the other palette. I really wanted to keep this one too. But again, I'm thinking about some other palettes that I have that I would go for. For instance, like the Natasha Denona Gold palette. I'm thinking, it's not the same, but I'm thinking about the golds and the blues and the neutrals. I would go for that one over this one. I think I've worn this palette 1 time. There are shades that are untouched. So I'm gonna go ahead and declutter this one as well. These are 3 palettes that I have from Charlotte Tilbury. The first one is the Bejeweled Eyes to Hypnotize palette. I really like this palette and love that she has, you know, a theme here that's just not all like pillow talky. I really like this palette, and I like how the Charlotte Tilbury palettes are laid out because they're really beginner friendly and the quality is great, most importantly. So I'm gonna keep this one. Next is Fire Rose. A lot of people went crazy over this one because she had this Dream Pop shade, I think it's what it's called, which, you know, if you get indie eyeshadows, you know, this isn't anything that we haven't seen before, but this is a nice quad and it never came back around again. So I do want to keep this. The matte shade is really nice. This is just a quick, easy look. It kind of gives you a little bit of a Pat McGrath vibe, and of course the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk vibe. So I am going to go ahead and keep this one around. Lastly, I have Super Blue, and I love this, and it goes really nice with the Super Blue double-ended eyeliner that I have by Char. And let's just see how this is swatching. Yeah, it's still really nice. Nice navy blue matte, and then you have the golds. So I want to keep this one around too. Oh, Tyrone's here, y'all.
Oh, wait. Oh. Hi.
Okay, Tyrone is here. Not hi. You said we. So I told them about the trade, the Pat McGrath trade, which I am bringing back Celestial Nirvana, but I'm getting, let me show you what I'm getting rid of because I didn't even tell you. I'm bringing back Celestial Nirvana. Remember the one I said I don't like, which I still don't.
I thought we was getting rid of that one.
That's what I said, but I'm making a trade. I'm going to bring this one back to get rid of the Scooby-Doo Mystery Ink palette.
That's not an even trade, but okay.
What? It doesn't have to be an even amount of shades. It's just palette for palette. It's not like this counts as 2 palettes.
That counts as 3.
Okay, it does not. It does not. All right, let's move on to a difficult stack since you're here now.
Oh my God.
So now I'm going to be showing y'all a lot of luxury stuff. What's the mix in here? So let's start with Chanel, the 4 old pennies. All right, first we have, oh, we already said we were keeping the tweed. Remember we said that? The oven mitt?
Yeah.
Okay, so that was that. Then I have Ombre de Lune. Now this came out for holiday. This is another 4 old pennies one, but I do like this. I know you probably feel like it's just okay.
That's called 4 old pennies?
No, I thought you were going to call it that again. That's what you called the other one.
Well, I was just saying that's what it looks like.
Oh, okay.
That's what that one looks like too.
Yeah, so this is just your basic neutral quad. I don't have a whole lot of Chanel stuff.
What's this one called?
Ombre de Lune. So I am going to keep this. I'm into it, at least for now. My favorite Chanel quad is this one, the Candor et Seduction. This one is so pigmented, y'all, and the mattes are so good. Like, they're really good. I don't even know what to say. I love this one. I got this one back in 2020 in the fall.
That's cute.
Oh, really?
It looks like Valentine's Day.
Yeah, and it still performs really, really well. Like, it doesn't have any signs that it's going bad. So my 3 Chanel quads are going to stay. Let's talk about the one palette that I have from NARS with the sexualized name.
NARS?
NARS. This is called the Climax palette. This palette is really nice. It's cool tone. The shimmers are great. This is just it's a really good palette. Like 9 shades. I love that. Easy looks, earthy, neutral. This is like my kind of look. So what do you think? I probably should do a Do We Still Love Her video on this. Maybe I'll leave this out to do it tomorrow. Look at this. This is nice. It's like a little crunchy.
Is that the name of the brand or the name of the person? The lady?
No, well,
the person,
the guy.
whoever.
So I think his last name is NARS, but the brand is NARS as well. Okay. So we're gonna keep this one. Now we have Olivia Palermo.
That looks. No, I like that. Close it.
Oh, okay.
I like the way that looks.
Oh, feel it. Feel it. It's heavy. It's weighty.
Wow. Now this right here, ladies, if you have this, y'all need to keep this in your purse at all time. This thing is heavy. And if you're in a bad situation, you can knock somebody out with that.
You can. And this is a great palette. This palette is really great. Didn't film with it yet. Shimmers are on point. This is the Regalia palette. Yes, to these shimmers, y'all. Come on. Come on, Olivia Palermo.
Come on, Olivia.
Olivia. I remember when you were on The City with Whitney. She was
I remember when she was on, what's her name?
What? Okay, no.
What's the show? Olivia Pope?
No, I said Palermo.
My bad.
So we're keeping her Regalia, keeping that.
You need to keep this in your purse.
Okay.
This sucker's heavy. This is probably the heaviest palette out of all of them.
Even the Pat McGrath's probably. It's probably heavier than a mothership, truth be told. All right, y'all. Let's talk about Huda Beauty. Now, I do have one potential declutter, and because of this, I think I might declutter something else. So, okay, this is the Naughty Nudes. This was Holiday 2020. This palette is great, and I took out that Petri dish shade and put something else in there, and I might take this one out and put something else because I don't even know what that is anymore. But I love this palette. This palette is great. Nice formulas. Like, and this barely looks used. This has a lot of use left. Shimmers are great. So we're going to keep this one. This is a very nice palette. All right, come 2021, we had the Rose Quartz palette, which I didn't get at launch. But this is why, so Rose Quartz is like the cool tone version of the Naughty Nudes. And I know, this wasn't everyone's cup of tea, but this one's really nice. Really nice shimmers here. And you know what? I'm really excited about using this one now that I've been getting into cool tones because it wasn't something that I was gravitating towards before. So now I'm really excited about like trying it out with a different lens. So I would like to keep that. Do you like this, or you just like whatever?
It's cool.
It's cool, yeah.
You know, it's cool.
Now, Holiday 2022.
I got to do some investigation with this brand.
All right. Why?
Because of the name.
So this is the Empowered palette. Now, I'm not decluttering this because I haven't really given this palette much of a chance. I did a little quick look with it, but you can see it's barely been touched, barely been swatched. So this palette definitely has a lot of life left in it, and I am very excited to be working with this palette. All right, Tyrone, I need you to look at this. I don't think I should keep both of these. So I brought out Notoriously Morbid Rose from the Dead because both of these have a very similar color story, and I don't think I need to have both. So let me just show you. There's Rose from the Dead, and there's Rose Quartz.
No, this is an easy decision. Get rid of this one.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Why? Because that's what I was going to say.
Because this is more sleek, and this is like all bulgy and wide. You know what I'm saying?
Bulgy and wide. Yeah. Okay, and the other thing is, as far as performance-wise, I like the Huda Beauty mattes better than the Notoriously Morbid ones. So I just think, I think this is a good trade-off because these are the same color mattes. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
The shimmers in here might outperform the Huda Beauty shimmers, but because I have so many Notoriously Morbid palettes, I don't really feel like I'm gonna miss this one, especially because, like, I don't know, these mattes I like and enjoy a lot better. So we are going to declutter Rose from the Dead. And again, I love Notoriously Morbid because all of their, you know, palettes and themes and things like that. But I really have to get this palette count down. So we're going to keep these 3 Huda Beauties and we're going to look at these 2 small ones. Now, the one I know I want to keep for sure is the Wild Jaguar palette. Another cool tone palette that's really, really nice. This is the only one that I have from that animal collection that she came out with. So I definitely want to keep this one around. But the one that I'm thinking about decluttering is the Love Fest palette, which is this one. And this one came out maybe around the fall of 2022. I got to look at it because I haven't looked at it in so long. It's nice. Like, what do you think about this? Look at this.
Peachy.
But I was saying in my video for this that this reminds me a lot of the Utopian Dream palette by Pat McGrath. We do see the little swirl shade. We see...
My tablet is gone.
Your what's gone?
Tablet.
We're not having jelly beans tonight, though. I'm so sorry.
Afternoon.
Maybe tomorrow, okay?
Afternoon?
Yeah.
We will go home early.
Who has jelly beans?
Mr. Taiwan.
Okay.
Marky has jelly beans.
Okay.
I bought them for him.
Okay, he can have them tomorrow. So what do you think about this one, Tyrone? I mean, you saw all the other Huda Beauty palettes. I feel like we have these shades in these bigger palettes.
Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that. It reminds me of like a 70s outfit. Like if you go into like a 70s party.
But I have a purple like this in Utopian Dream. I have these shades. Like, is this bringing me joy when I open it and say, ooh, I'm going to use this? I'm like, no, this reminds me of the Utopian Dream or something like that. So I'm going to declutter this, but I'm going to keep the Wild palette and the 3 big ones. Let's talk about MAC Cosmetics. Now, the one I'm really trying to return is this Whitney Houston palette.
You just got that.
I know, but it is not good. I do not like it. And it was very dusty.
It was dusty when you got it?
I mean, it's just the formula. It wasn't great. I just didn't feel like it was. The color story, I do realize, is Whitney Houston, but I think I might still be able to return this, so I'm going to try to do that. All right, let's talk about Feast Your Eyes. What do we think about this? Now, here's the deal. Hold on, because this could go. It could potentially go. This was a nice palette. Soft looks. I think it was the first time that MAC had come out with something of this caliber. That shimmer's okay. These are like kind of cream type shadows. But you know what? Swatching it now, I'm kind of like, is this special now? Is this special to me right now?
Let me ask you that. Is it special to you right now?
No.
Declutter it then.
I have to turn the my arm.
What?
It's okay. So I have to go to the appointment tomorrow at the school.
You have to go where?
To the appointment at
Why?
the school because my arm hurts.
Your arm hurts?
Yeah.
What's it hurt from? Was it from gym today?
Yeah.
Come here, Marky.
Guys,
So
I
have to go home early tomorrow.
No, you're not going home early. You always be trying to get out of school.
Because I have to have the appointment.
You do not have a doctor's appointment. All right, so what do we think? This was a great quality palette, but my thing is, I don't know. So that means no, right? Damn, that's sad.
I don't know why. It's giving me Rumpelstiltskin vibes.
Oh, probably because it is.
Yeah, no, this gotta go.
Damn, I wasn't expecting that.
This gotta go.
I don't even know if I could sell to anybody because it's creams.
People don't buy creams?
Well, it's just I swatched all over it, the embossing. All right, let's look at Black Panther.
Wakanda forever.
That's right.
Wakanda forever.
That's right.
Well, what do you think about this one?
I would keep it.
Because it's Wakanda, right?
No, not because of that, but it's nice looking.
So I am going to keep...
Because it's Wakanda.
I want to keep this around. This is a companion palette for me, though. It's not a palette I'm going to use by itself, but I can see myself taking it with some of my indie singles and shades. And use these, because these are all, like, even though they look deep, they're really nice transition shades. They blend out really nice. And this formula is better than that Feast Your Eyes palette.
Yeah, ask you a question.
Sure.
And this is a dead serious question.
Okay.
Now you know how when y'all put y'all makeup on, how y'all like use more than one palette sometimes?
Yeah, I did that today.
Different brands?
I did that today.
Would that be called a collab?
I call it a mashup.
A mashup? Oh, alright.
Alright, so we're gonna keep Wakanda.
A mashup.
Alright, y'all. The next set of palettes are from Tammy Tanuka. None of these are going anywhere, so I'm gonna zoom past them quickly. We have the Toad palette.
Well, I remember when you got these.
Yeah, my Tammy palettes. They're not going anywhere. And we can't purchase from her right now anyway. So I'm going to keep what I have. This was a gift from my friend Amanda. I think we did some type of trade. So.
Then that wasn't a gift. That was a trade.
We did a trade.
That wasn't a gift.
Okay, a trade. We did a trade.
You said a gift.
I changed my mind and said a trade. I really like this. Really earthy. Can use it by itself. I mean, look at that. That's gorgeous. Then I have the Snake palette, which it looks like I've dropped several times because I probably did.
Oh, God.
The Black Glove palette, which I did drop and break up all the shades.
The Black Glove.
Yeah, this palette is was up like.
It's cool. I like that. Is that
like,
right at the end?
It's, yeah. Look at that. But it's like a duochrome. It's like, you see it changes like red, green.
We made them name it Black Glove.
Oh, she has all kinds of like real cool color names. You'll love this one. This is the Peacock palette.
That's nice.
Like that one. And then last but not least, the Chinchilla. This one's nice too. So I'm keeping those. Just wanted to get past those quickly. Let's talk about Thomas. So Thomas has some offenders that are going to be decluttered, I think. So first we have Soleil et Lune. Now I'm going to keep this one. I'm thinking this was like, it's got this beautiful mint green. Probably look nice with some duochrome shades, like a indie luxury mashup. And I like that each shade looks different. And the reason why I'm saying that is when I show you the next one, Après Ski, I actually think I'm going to declutter it, which is very, very sad.
Après Ski.
Yeah, it's like skiing. It's a winter palette. Now, the thing about this palette is the shades are so close to my skin tone that I feel like they don't show up any differently. And I really wanted the original. There was First Frost last year, and then there was Soleil d'Hiver or something like that. And I thought this was going to be close. These shades are nice, but you can even see on my finger, like the differences in the shades, they're really close to my skin tone. So like, these are good for mostly like one and done, but I have shades like this. So I don't feel like this really has a place in my collection. And this one is new, but it doesn't have a place. It really doesn't. So I'm going to clean it up, box it up.
We'll find a place for it with the declutter
We'll
pile.
find a place for it in the declutter pile. The quality is very nice, but it's not showing up on me. I think it would show up on somebody that's fairer than me or someone that's darker than me. But medium skin tone, this one is not really doing anything for me. Yeah. And I hate saying that, but I had to let go of the idea of I wasted money. I have to let go of that idea or else I'm not going to let go of anything. That's the reality. Now this Tom Ford is one of my favorites. This is metallic denim. And I really like metallic denim a lot. And you can even see I've used it quite a bit. This is a blue that I love. It's kind of like a gray blue. And I love it. You can do a couple different looks with this one.
Right.
It's glittery, it's glam. This is probably one of my favorite Tom Ford quads, so I do not want to get rid of this one. This one's really nice. Y'all, okay, velour khaki. I just had to have these cream quads, and I don't know why. This one is not, I mean, people keep ranting and raving about this formula, and I don't know what it is that I'm missing. But this is just average at best. And when I think about this palette right here, which is definitely not going anywhere, and I'll be showing it with my Sydney Grace palettes, which aren't leaving. The Mountain Trail. I mean, this just...
That kind of looks like their, what's your, the weed palettes you got? You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, the smoke sessions.
Yeah,
Ooh.
that's what it looks like.
It sure does.
Yeah.
It does.
See,
Good point.
I know everything you got.
That's a great point. This does look like Smoke Sessions by Mel, and this quality is going to be better. This is kind of dull compared to it. This shade doesn't really show up. I think I played around with this once, but this one I am putting in the declutter pile, you guys. I don't know a lot of people like it, but it's not bringing me joy. So maybe it'll bring someone else joy. So Velour Khaki is going to go, and so is its partner, which is Violet Sateen. It's very sad. This one is kind of a cool toned purple. I don't know. I just feel like it's just okay. And it's not that I need something to be sparkly all the time, but I just feel like it's just all right.
Do you feel the way as, like, say you
declutter?
Say you see something on like palette online, which I feel like most of these you got online, right?
Yeah.
Now, do you see it online? I'm like, oh wow, I like this. But then when you get it, it's like, this isn't what I expected.
I have had that happen, but not with these. These I actually looked at reviews of and saw reviews and was like, ooh. But I just have to understand that, like, I like Tom Ford, but he's not my jam most times. So I need to stick with what I know I really like. I really love the metallic denim. I love that one. All right, next up we have Body Heat, and I remember Mel Thompson saying this was her favorite one, and I wanted to try it. I think I got this one from the cosmetics company store, and I think I want to keep this one around. Again, these Tom Ford ones I think are going to be like companion palettes for my like Terra Moons and things like that. They're not really mattes, they're like satins, and I kind of like these cool grungy shades, and I could see me really using some of these with like the gray base duochromes that Terra Moons has. So we'll see. Then I'm gonna keep, August said hey, I'm gonna keep Body Heat around. Thomas is about to be limited edition up in this collection. Lastly, by Thomas, we have one of the Shade and Illuminate palettes, and this is Red Harness, and this is just real nice. Nice one and done shades, nice little look. You got a highlighter, a bronzer. What do you think about this? Cool, right? Yeah, it's nice. Like, I've barely used it. And got this secondhand. This is nice. Like, gives you the little bronzy look or whatever. So I'm gonna keep that.
This is like a brunch palette.
Little brunch palette.
Yeah, like a little brunch palette.
We've got rid of a considerable amount of Tom Ford, and it's sad because it is a luxury brand, and I did spend money. You know, I try to get stuff on sale when I can, but this one and the Soleil at Loom, that's all I have in my collection, and I feel like that's probably gonna be my Tom Ford eyeshadow collection. I don't really see myself buying too much more from his brand because I've had a chance to try it. I can speak on it, and like, I'm good with that. So
but
stick with what I know.
Tom Ford ain't really known for its makeup, is it?
Well, he's known for makeup, clothes, perfume. I mean, he does it all. What do I think? Sunglasses.
I'm saying, like, what do you think? What do you think?
His biggest.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I don't think it's makeup, because when I went to return a quad one time, the lady said she didn't know at Sephora that Tom Ford made eyeshadow. So, all right, we got Shanta High. I call it Shanta High because their eyeshadows are expensive. Shanta Kai. This is the Black Jaguar. I didn't say Panther. I said Jaguar.
I'm asking you, is it a Panther?
You said that's not a Black Panther.
I'm asking you. You said Black Jaguar.
Because that's what it's called.
I never knew there was a Black Jaguar.
What color Jaguars?
Hold on.
You know what? I hate to say this, and I love this packaging, but I'm swatching this and I'm looking like it's a no for me.
Oh, you know what? I'm getting them. I'm sorry. You're right. I'm getting the Jaguar mixed up with a cheetah.
Okay.
My bad.
I'm thinking Declutter. Oh my God, I cannot. And I got this last year.
What color is a Jaguar?
Orange.
What? So you know what? This is also giving me Natasha Denona gold palette vibes, just a taste. I think I'm gonna declutter this. I love this, What are we keeping it for this? This was $75.
God damn. You better keep it. Give it here.
No, I'm not.
You want to declutter this?
Yep. I do. Because when I looked at it, I just was like, okay. That's how I felt. Now, the lipstick I got with it.
You should have said
I love
when
it.
you purchased it.
I should have said it, but you know what? I didn't. Because I was doing too much.
How many times have you worn it?
Once.
And that was just for a video look.
I didn't even do a video with it. How about that? That's a hot ass mess.
It's not too late.
It's not, but it's too late for me. Now, this one though, I like this one. This is the giraffe one. I like the giraffe one. This one is like, hey, I'm about to run out. Let me throw on this giraffe. You know what I'm saying? You got, I mean, this isn't that great. I'm going to keep the giraffe one because I do like it. And I like this shade. I like this shade a lot. Keeping this one, decluttering the Black Jaguar. Let me look at the Black Jaguar one more time. Or should we just not even look at it? I said what I said.
Keep both. Well, if you ain't going to wear it.
I'm not saying I'm not going to wear it, but I'm saying somebody might like it more.
It don't matter.
It does matter. This one's got to go. I'm sorry. I like the outside more than the inside. And we can't do that. We can't keep things for that reason. That was an unexpected one, y'all. I was not expecting to say that. But I am going to keep this. I have to be ruthless because you know what? Me doing this and looking at how much money I've spent over 2022, I'm not going to put myself in this unfortunate predicament again.
Are you decluttering or purchase more to make room for new stuff?
I'm not decluttering to purchase and make room for new stuff. I'm decluttering so I can enjoy the stuff that I have and know what I have. And the room doesn't look like hoarders.
All right. Dolores.
Shut up. All right. So we've gotten through a lot. Do you want to do a little bit more and then we can be done for the day?
Yes, we can do.
Do you want to do the Dior quints since we're doing luxury stuff?
Yeah.
These are my Dior quints. Yes.
And they're not going nowhere.
Yes, some of them are. They sure are.
My bad.
All right, so let's get started here. Now, this is the Black Knight, y'all. I want to be honest. I think this one looks more interesting than it performs. The reason why I'm saying that is because you can see it's dark, it's grungy. I really am into all of that. But I'm going to let you know that all of these shades almost look the same on your eye. So what am I going to do with this? I'm going to have to bring out something else. You do have this light silver shade, which is very nice. It is nice. Like, it's nice. I'm not saying that it isn't. But all of these really look the same on the eye. I don't need all these shades.
Let me see.
This one's supposed to be blue. It doesn't even look blue. Now, I could keep it as a collector's item, but is that what I'm trying to do here? Am I a Dior collector? Out of all brands, I mean, I'm not a Dior collector. I'm not. I mean, I have a lot of stuff, but I think that I should let this one go. I do. So this is Golden Snow. Now, Golden Snow is nice. See what I'm saying? It's cool. It's chill. I probably have to use this with something else. It has a nice little chartreuse shade, whatever. But I think I'm going to keep this and get rid of Black Knight. I'm not wearing Black Knight. I'm just not. Nightbird is cool. Okay. Nightbird is cool.
Nightbird. It looks like a hummingbird.
Yeah, it's actually a nice quint. So I think I want to keep this one. Now, Early Bird, a lot of people didn't like it, but I don't mind it. So I'm going to keep Early Bird. This shade is kind of weird, but I think I'm going to go ahead and keep Early Bird for now as I mess up the shades. I definitely want to keep Early Bird, actually. This one, have I even used this one? I have. Ooh. Maybe once, Bayadere. So I'm thinking this one can go. I like it, but to me, it's a very common color story. And Dior repeats itself a lot. So I think this one can go. It is very nice. I think...
It is nice.
Really?
Yeah, this is like, let's go have a cup of coffee vibe. If you see a gentleman and he's like, hey, babe, how about we get some coffee later? And you're like, okay. And then you're like, girl, I'm going to go get some coffee. And you can throw that on. That looks real nice.
So my thing, yeah, but my thing with this is I have this color story a lot. like in my Natasha Denona bronze palette. And I'm going to go for that more than this. I don't know.
That's nice though.
All right, let's put
it's
it.
Like real chill for real. It's not too much.
So wait till you see the rest of the Dior ones.
All right.
And then
let's
you
just
can
sit that to the
decide.
side.
We're going to sit it to the side. Black Bow is one of my favorites. It's just really nice and glam. Cool tone. It's nice. Shimmers are real nice in this one. I don't think I'm ready to get rid of this one yet. So I'm going to keep it. You can tell I've worn it. But then I have Melt Mary Jane, which is not out here right now. I don't want to get rid of Black Bow because I think it looks really nice. I'm going to keep Black Bow, but I feel like I might be keeping it more for sentimental value, but I'm going to keep it for right now. Now, some of these are new. This is, I like this one. This is the one I just got at Christmas time. I was really surprised. Galactic. This one doesn't look like it's anything. It really doesn't. It looks real whack, but it's not. It does. It looks real whack, but when I put this one on in the video with the Plummy Clips lipstick, this was really pretty. I just was so surprised by this deep shade, the purple. It just really came together in a way that I really didn't expect. So I'm going to keep that. This one's new. You know, next go around, if I'm not feeling it, but I'm feeling that one. I like that one. Okay, this one is up for declutter. Mirror, Mirror. It's cool, but I'm noticing a certain theme with me with the earthy tones. It's like, how many earthy tone quads and things do I need? So that's how I feel. I only use this one time because I have this color so much. I mean, let's just take out the Mountain Trail bundle, and then I have all of these greens here that throw that green in the water. You know what I'm saying?
It looks like a parent-teacher conference palette.
This one?
Yeah.
Okay. And then I have the beige here. I have so many browns. So this is a nice one. It's not that there's anything wrong with it at all, but there's only but so many of a certain color story that I'm going to need. And a lot of the things I have cost way less than this palette. So I'm going to put this for declutter. I have to just keep it honest with myself and don't go back and think about it. Ooh, Coral Paisley. So these were the velvet ones. I like Coral Paisley. Coral Paisley is beautiful. It is very beautiful on this little Melanie shade right here. I will never forget when I wore this to work last year. People were asking me, was I going on a date after work?
What?
Yeah, but I was like, Tyrone was not taking me anywhere. Sorry. I love this. This one is really nice. This one's nice, and it's like all matte. It has like a little sheen. This one's nice. I'm gonna keep this one around. And I have a few more of the velvets. I have blue velvet. Oh, blue velvet is very nice. This reminds me of a beautiful fairy. I love this one. I love these blues. These are great blues for me. Like when I wore this, I was like, okay, yes, I can do some blues. Keeping blue velvet, I really like that one a lot. The other one that's not going anywhere, ooh, red tartan. Now this one looks just like the Chanel one, and I don't care because I love these shades. Absolutely. I know I'm not asking your input on these because I'm like I love these. I love these. Like, and these mattes are great. Like they're great, and I could pair them with other things. So
it's called
red tartan, Tartan. Oh, this one's up for declutter. Jungle. So Jungle is cool, but honestly, don't want to keep both Jungle and Golden Snow because, believe it or not, they have a similar kind of vibe to them.
Yeah, they do.
And I don't need to keep both. The only one thing that this has is like that green, but that green isn't really even all that. So I would prefer to keep Golden Snow over Jungle. And I think that's what I'm going to do. It's going to be decluttered. It's, like I said, the quality, it's time for Jungle to go. And I really do, appreciate
this
everything.
Is Jungle right here.
Yeah. Everything that it brought to my collection for that time. And last but not least for this part one, this is Rosa Mutabilis. This is another velvet. Now, what do we think about this? I love these mattes. I do have a plethora of rose items. When we think about Pat McGrath, I've got a lot of rose stuff. So the question is, do I have something like this where I'm gonna go for that over this? Damn, I wasn't expecting to give this one up. Ooh, look at that shade. Look at this shade. Hold on. This is a nice shade. Look at this. That's like a beautiful, like, watermelon. No, it's not watermelon. Raspberry?
Raspberry, maybe, yeah.
I think this one's kind of nice. What are we thinking?
Let me hold it. Let me get a good look.
Get a good look. Get a good look. He's holding it by my face, y'all.
I would keep it.
Really?
Yeah, I can see you coming up with something nice with that.
All right.
I will keep it.
Okay, we're going to keep that. And, okay, let's do this very last one, and then that'll be the first set. And then, like, we'll have an intermission. All right. This is the Glam Light Chocolate Martini palette. This was a gift from a friend of mine. And what do you think about that? This palette's very good. It's the only palette that I have from Glam Light at this time. I cannot... Oh, that's a nice purple. Oh, that's nice. Ooh.
I would keep it.
You think so?
It was a gift for one, and then that's your only Glam Light palette.
It is my only Glam Light palette. It's very nice too. Like, okay, y'all. So can you?
Keep it.
All right, we're gonna. Ooh, honey. Okay, so let's count up what we're saying that we decluttered right now, and then we'll do the next half of palettes. I told y'all this is gonna be long, so you know, just brace yourself for the next half.
13.
So that's 13. 250. What did I say? 256 minus 13. Yeah. Damn, that's still not. See, I'm still like 246. That puts me at 243. So we got more to go, y'all. We're going to get to the next half of my palettes because we're going to be done today. I need a final palette count today. All right, you guys. Ooh, look at my nail polish. It's only one coat. Anyway, we're back. We're going to try to roll through this. It's a lot left. We're halfway through, but we just got to do this because I'm not extending this into another video. So we're going to start now with my Adept palettes. Now, I already told y'all I am not going to be keeping the very new palette, the one, it hasn't shipped yet. I'm not going to keep that because I just don't like it. So I'm just not giving it a chance. All right, that's just how I feel. Let's start with Plain Jane Remastered. Tyrone is with me. All right, Tyrone, this is Plain Jane Remastered. I really like this. It's an all duochrome palette. It's a companion palette. It doesn't have any matte shades. They're magnetic. You can take them out, move them around, and I can use this lots of different ways. Just combining them with matte palettes or one and done shimmers, whatever.
So it's no complaint about it.
Actually, that was the point. The character that she named this after, they felt like she was very plain, but in reality, there was nothing plain about her, and that's why she named it Plain Jane, and it's remastered because it's a new formula. A couple different shades. I'm keeping this. Definitely keeping House of L. I think these are the best shimmers that Adept has done, and I absolutely love this palette. I like that it's Superman without saying Superman. It's not like just that red and this like this color blue. It's a take on Superman that I really like. Next we have Ninhydrin. This is the original. I love this palette. I'm not sure if there's a difference between this one and the new one, but I think the shades are still the same. And as far as I remember, because I did use this last year, it performs great. Love the grungy mattes in this palette. So this one's not up for anybody's declutter. Well, it's not. But, well, you know what? Probably is somebody out there that's would declutter and Ninhydrin, because you know which one I want to declutter, but I'm not going to because it's too soon. Minka. A lot of people love this palette. I don't even want to swatch this palette because it just does so much. Like, I know they said these aren't glitters, but this palette is like, the glitters are like aluminum foil. Like, it's so much, and they're so much. Like, they're so wet. I just can't. And that new palette has that. I do like them. Like, I love this, but this is like wet to the touch. To me, this is a glitter. I don't care what nobody says. Like, this, it's not going to be on this declutter chopping block, but it is on the chopping block. And the only shades that I really like are these two. And I might have these in my indie singles. I like the smooth glitter, the smooth, not even glitters, the smooth duochromes. These are just not it for me. Like, this definitely speaks holiday. I mean, this is like, I don't know. And I know I have not worn this palette for an entire day, but I know some people that have hooded eyes like me do say that they get some creasing from these types of shades. I mean, but this is like really wet. I don't know. Do you like these shimmers? I mean, they look very nice. I know you like them. They look very nice, but
are they wet? You keep saying
they feel wet. I mean, I like the wet look, but I think I have to change up how I would want to use these shimmers. And I also think that this palette is going to be more of a companion palette at best, because I don't really care for these mattes. I like the mattes, but I don't care for I don't care for that one, because you got a light purple and a deep purple. So my transition is always going to be purple. Like, it's going to be a purple based look unless I put this palette with something else. So like I said, not on the chopping block now, but it might be next time. Just let y'all know. Amunet New was the first one. Dr. Ash gifted me this because I think they were trying something with the formula. I like this palette. I think it's cool. I like it. I don't want to get rid of it. Then they came out with Amunet, which was like an upgraded formula. And she sent this to me, Sandra, who's the owner of Adept, because I don't know what I was talking to her about. She was like, oh, I can send one to you. And I like the light one. What I like about the deep one, and I'm keeping both of these, what I like about the deep one is, see, when they changed some shades here, Bastet and Amon. I like these two shades, but they got rid of them in this palette and put these two shades in there. So I like having both of these, and I really like this palette a lot, both of them. This is Codon. I still like this palette. I don't have any plans right now of decluttering Codon, so that's it. Codon. Last up, we have Heather Austin. This palette is excellent, and I love the choice of mattes and shimmers in this palette. Pretty much my Adept collection is going nowhere at this time, but I'm sharing it because this is a collection video. All right, we've got Odin's Eye. This is Angelica's palette, the Hella palette, and the standout for me are these 4 shades at the bottom. But see, all of these kind of grungy greens, the only shades I really don't care for are these pinks. You take these pinks out, leave these earthy colors here, and like, that's right up my alley. These pinks are a bit unnecessary for me. So I like the majority of the palette. I'm not going to declutter this. It's part of the Legendary Diversa releases. We have the Erd palette. This is, yes, love this one. This is from the Norns collection. We're going to go through all the Norns real quick. This is the one where I probably want to declutter this. It's an all shimmer palette. Out of the mini palettes, I don't go for these. So this is the one I'm going to declutter. I've felt like that since the very, very beginning, which was in 2020. It's 2023. It's time to go. I do thank you for being a part of the collection, but we're only going to have 2 of the mini palettes. For Dondi, I really like this one. This one just reminds me of like fall time. I love the mattes. I love this shimmer right here. I remember the last time I wore it. It was a while ago, but I remember the look. I had my frizzy hair.
That's nice looking.
But it is. And then you have this in the middle, which is like a beautiful topper, but this one's really, really nice. I love that one. We have the Norns palette. This was the Norns collection was my first collection by them. I do think they have improved their formula. I'm not 100% ready to get rid of this palette, but I do think the next go around I might be feeling a bit different. I'm not sure, but I did like this palette. It's got a little hard pan, but I find that with Odin's Eye often, so we're gonna keep it. Y'all know the Christmas palettes are not going anywhere. These are beautiful, hoping for a restock. Just gonna show them real quick since we're doing a collection. Love that palette. That's Merry Christmas, beautiful. You don't like this?
It's cool.
Okay.
It just
a lot going on. Looks like an ornament.
I can see that.
And then the Christmas Eve palette is also really, really beautiful too. I might like this better. This is the Soul Moon 2 palette. I really, really like this one as well. It's a beautiful color story and it's unique, different. Then we have the original Legendary Diversa. This is the Red Dragon palette. Absolutely love the Red Dragon palette. These are just my colors. Iron Wolves. This might be my favorite out of the 3.
So where is this brand from?
They're from Sweden.
Okay.
They're from Sweden. This is her Hummingbird palette. And I mean, I love it. I love the vibe. Every collaborator did a great job with their palette. And this last one, this one was with Angelica. This was another Legendary Diversa.
Okay.
So I don't know if they're going to do another one, but I do like these. I like getting to take on content creators and what they will put in a palette. So I like seeing that. And then lastly, I have the Saga of Friha palette, which I really haven't used much, but I do like this. I think I got it when they had a sale. So this one's kind of in a book format, and you have this kind of mauve-y side right here, and then on the other side you have this side. Look at this one.
Oh, it's like a book.
Yeah, it's like a little book. So I like this one. Sydney Grace is next, y'all. Sydney Grace isn't going anywhere, so let's just roll through this. Mountain Trail, I showed this yesterday with a bunch of palettes. Absolutely love it. Tiny Marvels is the collab with Mel Thompson that she created. And this is one of my favorite palettes. Mel Thompson is one of my favorite people on YouTube and still is. She's just timeless. So is this palette. We have the Temptalia collab. This is one of my favorite collabs that I've seen since I've been into makeup.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, this is the Radiant Reflection. What I love about this, and I already labeled these are magnetic. I could take them out, move them around. I wish they had an empty one of these, because then I could... You know what? I'm gonna look on Mercari, because you never know. People be selling empty boxes, because then I could make like some palettes. When we have Quintessence. Look at that. This is like one of my favorite cool tone palettes ever. Like, it's beautiful. And you know what? This is a... Go ahead.
I don't mean to cut you off.
You're not.
Did these two drop like at the same time?
All three were the same. I'm gonna show you.
Okay.
All three are the same. I decided that this is a wild card declutter. And this kind of hurt my soul. I'm going to get rid of Black Bow from Dior. I know, y'all, because it's one of my favorites. But I wasn't going to show it with this palette, but I'll show you with a few other palettes. I don't need this in my collection. I have a matte black. This might not have been the best example, but I'm just looking at a lot of the silvers that I have. This kind of lavender shade. We've got some replaceable shades in a formula that I prefer. And I prefer Sydney Grace over Dior. I prefer Sydney Grace over almost everything. And I love Black Bow. It was one of my favorite Dior Quints for a while, but I think it served its purpose here in my collection. So babe, what I wanted to show you is that, so this makes a picture. This was like a collection after Temptalia, who is like a beauty blogger, her dog that passed away. So this is Radiant Reflection. And then we have On the Horizon. This is like the really beautiful earthy one. And I know people say these palettes look the same, but they have three different vibes. So I'm not interested in decluttering these, but you see it makes a picture.
Oh, that's slick.
Yeah.
Now that's good marketing right there.
It really is. And she sold the palettes separately. And you know what else was great about this? Each palette, when Sydney Grace does their palettes, the majority of them come in light and deep. The lighter transition shades, and I got mine in light. All of mine are in light. But if you have deeper skin, you know, certain shades might not show up. So for example, these two shades in the deep version would be darker.
Okay.
So you could decide if you wanted the light palette or the deep palette. And I like that they do that, because it's keeping, you know, everybody included. Because sometimes, you know, palettes be looking ashy on people because they're not deep enough. For real. That's real.
I like how they did.
That's one of the most unique releases that I have seen and participated in. Enduring Love is one of my favorite cool tone palettes. Another one where, you know, I'm looking at the Dior Black Bow and I'm kind of thinking to myself, you know, if I had to pick, which one am I going to go for cool tones? I'm going to go for Enduring Love. I have a black. I have kind of a taupey shade, kind of like this. I have really beautiful shimmers. It's not about having the exact same shimmers, but I'm just thinking, like, when it comes to cool tones, now that I have a little more in my collection, then something's going to be left behind. And it's probably going to be the Dior Quint. This is one of my favorite palettes. I would say top 10. And I don't even understand how that happened, because this looks like I've been carrying it around with me, and I definitely don't do that. So
it looks like you put it in your back pocket.
It does. That's how my Paradise Glow blush broke. it was in my book bag and I must have slammed it down. But I didn't have this. I might have had it in my book bag. You never know. So that's Enduring Love. And then lastly, from Sydney Grace, I have the Tropicolor palette. Now, the Tropicolor palette is also by the Fancy Face, who had that hummingbird palette from the Odin's Eye. I haven't used this one a whole lot, but again, I love that these are magnetic. You can take them out, move them around. You can do a lot of different looks with this palette, and this one's borderline overwhelming for me because there's so many shades. And, you know, I have been shying away from big palettes, but because they're Sydney Grace and because you can take them out, I can see myself using these for my BYOP videos, and I just have a lot more use than keeping it in this palette.
You could bust it down.
It's a bust down. We're gonna call these bust down palettes. Natasha Denona has bust down palettes, okay? All of them you can take out. That's why I got the label maker and I took all of them out. Unearthly has bust down palettes. They started having bust down palettes. You know what? We need to start copywriting this stuff. Because I don't want to hear nothing about nobody saying no bust down. But what's a bust down watch is when it has all the diamonds and stuff.
Yeah, we ain't talking about that though.
No, we talking about bust down palettes because you can break them down and make them how you want. Now, the Tiny Marvels one, I don't think, and the Enduring Love, I don't know if those are magnetic. I'm not going to find that out tonight just because we're trying to roll through this. But all of the other ones are bust downs. This is my Copacetic Cosmetics palette. I'm going to tell you, like, this palette I have kept around because this shade right here, which I always thought was called Glowworms, but I actually think it's called Uncharted, but I'm going to call it Glowworms because to me it's glowy. This is one of the best shades I think I've ever seen. And it reminds me of Sydney Grace Dragonfly. It's in their cream formula. But look at this shade, babe. Like, this shade is so good. Like, I don't even understand what this is. I don't even feel like Copacetic shimmers are all like this. They're not. I know they're not. That's why I've held on to this. This shade is really good. But, I mean, this is regular. This is regular. I can find that. This green is really nice. I'm sure I could find that, too. And this is called the Splunking Quad. And then there's a black. But it's this shade right here where I'm like, I have to keep this. I don't know if I have another shade like this in my collection, and except for that Dragonfly cream. And I just can't. If you have dupes for that, let me know. But I've had this now for almost 3 years. Like, y'all can tell, like, this looks creamy. It's not dusty, crusty. So we're going to go ahead and keep that. Now, most likely I would use this with something else because when I did use it, I was using this as the transition, and that's not for me for a transition. This would be an inner corner highlight, lid shade. Like, this is gorgeous. I am keeping my Splunking Quad. All right, y'all. Now, this was an instant declutter, and it's sad because I didn't even try it out. It is very sad, but, you know, I purchased this in December. I purchased from Asgard Queen Cosmetics. I was really intrigued by a palette that I saw, and then I went to their site or whatever. Had to go through a whole bunch of rigmarole to get the palettes. Okay, so the palettes came. So here's the thing. I understand that you cannot tell everything from a swatch, but like,
they didn't even fill them to the brim.
They did not fill them to the brim. They did not. They're not brim filled. I like that all this is recycled, but this isn't. You can even see it.
Oh yeah, you gotta put some lotion on that. That's got eczema.
Not eczema.
That joint dry.
I'm not impressed. You know what, Tyrone? It's not funny. It's not funny because I paid $80 for these together. I don't remember what that was called. I don't know how to pronounce it. And now I'm upset because Tyrone's making fun. Declutter.
Declutter.
Yes. Like, what do you want me to do? This one broke. This was the one that I saw online and was like, ooh. Like, I don't know what's happening. And
How long you had them for?
I just got them like 2 weeks ago.
For real?
Yeah, because they said it was going to take up to 10 weeks.
Yeah, them joints rough.
Oh, no. Asgard Queen.
This joint like some chicken my mom made before, real dry.
That's terrible because your mom can make nice chicken. So let's move on. This is Supreme Nudes. I'm not decluttering this. I think this is your perfect basic palette. You could wear it every day.
Supreme Nude.
Yeah, great quality. I really, really like this. This palette, y'all, oh my gosh. This one is like being highlighted now for Black History Month. Love this palette, named after Black leaders. You got neutral mattes on the front, beautiful shimmers on the top. I think I'm gonna do a Do We Love Her video. The quality of this palette is fantastic. It is excellent. If you were not sure, like, be sure.
And it's filled to the brim.
It's filled to the brim. Let me see, I don't think this is a bust down. I don't need it to be a bust down because 9 times out of 10, I would be pairing them with neutral mattes and they're here. So warm, cool, whatever you want. This, oh my gosh, beautiful palette, y'all. If you were interested, you will not be disappointed. So we're gonna go back to this for a second. I said I was not gonna declutter this. Hold on, I'm not decluttering that. But I'm gonna declutter Don't Be Jelly. I think that after looking at my indie singles and other palettes, I have these shades. And I was watching Bad to the Brows video and saw like a lot of similar shades. The only one I was gonna say I really like this shade right here, but I have a Nucleona shade, same exact shade. I'm gonna declutter this because I think somebody else would really love this and really enjoy this. So that was kind of a surprise declutter. Now we're gonna go to Nomad Cosmetics.
We did that one.
No, we did not. We didn't do this brand.
We did that palette.
I did that palette. This is the Verona palette. I just got this and I really like it, so it's not going to be a declutter. This is the Provence palette. This just wasn't my favorite color story, my favorite formula, the shimmers. I just felt like they were kind of ashy. And I did learn some nice French words, but I can't base the palette off that. I just wasn't really into this one. I didn't like how the shimmers showed up on me. So I'm going to declutter it. All right, we have America's Parks. America's Parks is one of my favorite palettes from Nomad, so it's not going anywhere. I really do, last time I checked, like the shimmers and the mattes. And I really love the color story, and I love the whole vibe behind the palette. And I learned a lot about the parks that are in America. The marble shades. Yeah. This is a nice palette.
So with the marble, real quick, do you get 2 colors of that? Like when you
really don't. You really just get one, but it's a nice effect.
It's like that for sure.
Yeah, it's nice. This is a nice palette.
I like that.
I love this one. So we have the Whistler palette, and this was Whistler Snow Lodge. This wasn't a favorite of mine. It just wasn't.
Out of all, only like one color there.
Which one? The blue?
Yep. You already know.
And I saw some people do really, really beautiful looks with this palette.
I think that brown.
This one?
The other side.
This one?
Yeah, that brown, green, and that gold. That's a gold.
Yeah.
I think them 3 will look good together.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a nice blue. What do we think about Whistler?
Can they be busted down? Or we don't know?
I don't know, but I don't know if I would bust them down only because they're not. Oh, perfect. Go ahead. Yeah, okay. Oh God, look at that. You just
hey. We want to declutter.
Okay, these aren't bust downs. I don't know. Or what do you think? I know some people really like this, but
it's not what people like, it's what you like.
Yeah, you're right. This one just isn't my favorite. And I hate feeling like that, you know, especially when I'm given something, you know, that's always a struggle. But I have to, like, this is ridiculous. This situation is ridiculous with my palettes. And, you know, maybe once this gets down in the future, I'll keep the things that are given. I don't know, right. But I have to really think about this. Now we have Paradise Islands next. This is another one where I'm just like, it's okay. You like this one? Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm going to show you the one that I like better, though, because I just think that both of them are, I like that shade, though. Let me show you Costa Rica. Now, tell me I need both of these in my collection, because Costa Rica has some of the best shades.
If I had to pick out of the 2 to keep, I would say keep Costa Rica.
Me too. And here's the reality. If I'm going to go for a look like this, I'm not going for both of these palettes. Yeah. I'm only going to pick one. This is like, I mean, Costa, you know what I'm saying?
It's like vacation-y vibes. Like if you go to like an island or something like that.
Costa Rica, I feel like also just takes it it just takes it to the next level.
So
like,
what do you feel though as you should do?
I really don't think.
I feel like you want to keep both.
But I don't think I'm going to use both. That's the reality, because I barely use this one. But what I will say is that this one has more depth and more grunginess to it than this one, because you got that brown, you have a grungy green here, whereas this green is not far off from this one. Yeah. So I just feel like I'm getting a lot. I like this green here, but I also know I have this green in other places.
So let's declutter it.
I know.
Let's not suck.
I be worried about hurting people's feelings.
What feelings you gonna hurt?
No, man. This is the one that I
talking bad about them there.
No. I love the brand. I love the brand. But I'm not gonna be a makeup collector. Like, somebody might want to rank my Nomad palettes. I'm not gonna have them all. You know what I'm saying? Because I can't do this. You know, it's not really feasible for me. And you know, maybe once my collection gets down to something acceptable, then it may be a little bit easier. Right. But right now, I'm just looking and seeing so much excess that I have to make these decisions. Like, it's just not really, I'm not really playing around. So the first palette I got from Nomad was the Fire and Ice palette. And I still like this one. I would like to still keep this one.
That's a real chill palette. Like, you about to run a 7-Eleven.
Really?
Yeah.
I wouldn't say that, but there's some like nice grungy shades here. It's a different color story.
It's not too much, what I mean.
It's not, but you can make it too much. Like, you can make it dramatic. I think it's very interesting, and I do still want that one in my collection. Another favorite palette I have is Haunted Europe. I love this one. This one's
got a lot of stuff out here.
You know what? Nomad actually has been releasing a lot. I love this palette. Now, out of all the Nomad palettes, I think this one and the America's Parks palettes are like totally me. You know, Costa Rica has a really bright vacation vibe, but even if I was on vacation, you know, I would have to mute those down a little. But I love these shades. I could see me using a lot of these with my other indie singles. Like, these are great. And I like the mattes from Nomad better than the shimmers. So I could definitely pair this with something else or use what's already here. So I love Haunted Europe, and I love the little...
That's holographic.
Holographic. Yes. We've got the Hudson Valley palette. Oh, I like this one too, babe. Again, the shimmers aren't bad, you know. They're not like my favorite shimmers.
Oh, wow. Now, you already know which one I like, what color I like.
But I love this, the red. Yeah. But this is like, I love this vibe. I love these mattes. I love the mattes in this palette. I think they're really nice. That one's gonna stay. So I still have a pretty big Nomad collection, and I'm not trying to rationalize it. So let's just move. Lastly, from Nomad, we have the Santa's Workshop palette, Santa's Village from Finland. That's where this one took place. I was not a huge fan of this palette. It was more so because of these shimmers. They were very, very sheer. And I don't really need these toppery shimmers. I mean, it took a lot to get them to adhere. It took a lot to get them on my eyes. And this one's like, I don't even know what's going on with that. I just, let me see if this is a bust down. I don't feel anything magnetic though. It was cool for Christmas time. We're gonna have to declutter Santa's Village.
I'm going to the village of declutter. The declutter village.
Okay. Y'all don't even start, because I know what's about to happen and I don't want to hear it. These are my JKW beauty palettes.
You're keeping them, I already know it.
Okay, I know you were gonna say that, but hold on. Here's what I want to say. The Cocoa Mattes palette.
But it just...
Hold on real fast. The Cocoa Mattes palette, I've already rearranged. There's some Sydney Grace shades in here. Like, this is Vanguard. This is a bust down. So even KKW, all her shades are bust downs. So I'm gonna declutter this one, and I am going to keep this one as singles. Like, this is a Looksy Beauty Matte, because I had taken out the light ones. The rest of them are hers, but they're great transition shades. As long as they're acting right, I like the shades in the Cocoa Mattes. So what I'm gonna do is bust this down, put it in a single palette, but I'm gonna keep this palette, the empty, so that way when I do, if I wanna do my BYOPs, I can put them in here if they're all circle shades, stuff like that. Okay, this is the KKW and Makeup by Mario palette.
Did you put that blue in there? I feel like
I did not. I did not. It came like that.
That's weird.
No, it's a neutral palette with a pop of blue, and that was like a thing at one point.
Oh, okay.
Now, here's what I want to say. What am I keeping it for? I think it's discontinued. The brand is gone. The brand is done. I don't know if there's a point to me keeping this because it's not like, oh my gosh, but I use it all the time. I'm not using them. So I'm looking at these.
Low-key similar other than the blue.
Yeah, and I'm more interested in keeping this outside packaging to make some like palettes of my own. Because, you know, it's already has the magnetic bottom. I don't even think I would need to keep any of these mattes because I have very similar shades. They're nice palettes though. I'm not saying that they're bad. The quality is not bad. I just have better shimmers at this point. I don't know what I'm keeping it for, except to just say I have them. And that's not doing anything for anyone. So I think I'm going to be done with these, you guys.
We're just going to bust them down.
We're going to bust them down. I don't even think I want to keep these as singles because they're okay, but they're not like super great. So I'm going to put them as a declutter, but I'm putting them in my palettes because I want to keep the outer packaging to make palettes. Now, this is my palette from ZC Cosmetics, and this was gifted. And I'm going to just definitely keep this, even if it's for display.
That's pretty.
It is. It's very pretty. I can't say how often I am going to wear this palette, but it is a very nice palette.
Did you use it at all?
I did. I used it in a video. I don't enjoy how difficult it is to get these out. But the shades are really nice. They're really nice. I don't know how often I'm going to use this. I'm just being honest. And that's why I didn't really buy too much from like ZC or the other brand, which is called Florasis, because it's so intricate.
This is probably the best packaging,
yeah.
case, whatever I've seen so far. Other than that heavy one from the heavy.
Oh, Olivia Palermo.
Yeah, that junk was heavy.
And this one has like some embossed in here. It is really nice.
Real slick.
What?
If this was a you know, when you open a jewelry box and the thing spins and makes music,
that would be real cool and real expensive. My sister's about to be so mad. So my sister knows I love Wonder Woman. She gave me this Revlon palette. I need to use this.
If your sister got it for you,
I'm not. It's in my palette count.
I feel like you decluttered the one I got you.
I did not. I put it in my palette count because it wasn't in there. All right, let's do Kaleidos. Sashimi City, not being decluttered. Love it. Lunar Lavender. Love that. We have Astro Pink. This is another really beautiful palette. I didn't really shop from Kaleidos last year, I don't think at all. Because, maybe I got some lip clays. I don't know. But I haven't shopped their eyeshadows in a while. Flower Punk, I don't know. Flower Punk, sometimes I feel like I'm keeping more for the uniqueness. But I do like the palette, but it's mostly this side of the palette. Not really this side, but I like this palette nonetheless. So I love that neon color. Club Nebula, Angelica's palette. Definitely still love that. And then last we have the Escape Pod, which is where it all began. It's like a little colorful computer. All right, let's do ColourPop. So this palette I feel like I should take out of my account because my mom bought this palette because I did not want it. And she was like, well, I can buy it and you could do a video on it. And my mom doesn't even wear eyeshadows. This is the At Forest Sight palette from Raw Beauty Christie collab. I can't declutter this because my mom told me not to. Because she really liked how Raw Beauty Christie was like explaining the meaning of the palette and all this and that. I wasn't going to get it, but she got it.
Give it to your mom.
My mom's not going to wear it.
So?
Take it out the palette count though, right? Because it really, technically, it's not mine. And I'm not using it.
Your mom don't wear eyeshadow?
No. Never.
She wear lipstick though, don't she?
Yeah, but that's not going to help in this case. All right, next we have the Mandalorian. I've already decluttered. So ColourPop did the Tinkerbell palette. It was like, and the Nightmare Before Christmas. This is the Mandalorian. This is a cool color story. I don't really have a lot of ColourPop left, and I'm probably just going to hold on to this a bit. I haven't purchased from ColourPop since 2021. So I don't know, I'm just gonna hold on to it. Y'all know which one I want to say, but I'm gonna wait till last. This is the Gather Round Sisters. This is the original Hocus Pocus palette. It's a very nice palette. I wonder how much I'm gonna use this though.
Still look crispy.
No, it does look crispy because I only wore it one time. That's the thing. And the thing is like, am I gonna bring this out? This isn't just a Halloween palette, but am I gonna be the one to bring this palette out because it's Halloween every year? Like, I don't know. A lot of people wanted this, and then I feel like when it came back, I kind of fell into the hype because they came out with a part 2, and I was like, oh, the part 1 looks so good. But I don't think this is something I'm gonna miss. Am I really gonna use it? It's nice, I'm not saying that, but with everything I have, I gotta really get my life right. Like, I really do. So let's put that in the declutter pile. The child. Okay, secretly, I feel like I'm only keeping this so I can say the child. Because, and I'm gonna say this, with the, oh, this is a nice palette though. It's nice. I was gonna say though, with the Natasha Denona Retro Glam and then the Mel Thompson bundle I have, you got like these sages, these sage greens. No golds though. I'm not ready to give this one up. I like the child, and I think with the Mandalorian, I remember doing looks like with this combined. I just thought this made kind of a nice color story. And I didn't get the Darth Vader one. I didn't need that one, but I think I'm gonna go ahead and stick with these 2 ColourPop palettes, and I guess these will be my only ones. Now y'all might be surprised about this, and you know what? I gotta just do something here. And I'm missing a palette, but I think it's a palette I had talked about, which was the Smoky palette from Glam Shop. Okay, these are my Glam Shop palettes, and I think I'm done with them all. I hate to say that, but everybody was on this Glam Shop kick, and Glam Shop is great. It is a great brand. I do have a bunch of singles still, holographic shades. This is Citronata. This is a really cool palette. It's yellow. I don't really care for the matte. They're just okay. The shimmers are nice, and I think these types of shimmers are shimmers that at a time when I was used to getting these like monochromatic ColourPop palettes, I ended up getting rid of my ColourPop monochromatic palettes because I got these. Because these shimmers were a step up. Duochromes, just stuff that you don't really see in a palette. But I can say that I think these have served their purpose, and I definitely don't go for this yellow palette. I like yellow eyeshadow, but I don't know when I'm gonna do a yellow eye, just a monochromatic yellow eyeshadow look. Okay, take a look at this one. This is Laguna.
You ever see the Blue Lagoon?
Ooh. Where?
It's a movie.
Oh. With Brooke Shields? Mm-hmm. No. And even as I'm looking at these shimmers now, like, they're okay. But I think I just have things that I like more at this point. I'm gonna declutter Laguna. And it's funny because in my first declutter video, I decluttered the Wine and Only palette by ColourPop because I had this one. I like this palette too. But I'm just thinking of other things that I have where I'm just like, do I really need this one? So I'm gonna declutter Bergens. Paprika I really liked for a while, and then one of my favorite shades fell out, so I put something else in here. I think this is from Stone Vibes by Urban Decay or something. But I don't know if these are that great. I am gonna declutter this one. And then lastly, this is the one that I wasn't sure about, the Camo palette. But I feel comfortable decluttering this because you remember that Croc palette that I had? Mm-hmm. Like, it's not exactly the same, but it's the same type of vibe. And I do have lots of greens. I mean, I am getting rid of the Camo palette from Glam Shop. All right, we're gonna talk about Viseart now. And I was saying when I thought I was recording that Viseart is not anything I've ever really featured, I think, on my channel at all. But I do have quite a few palettes. This one's from BoxyCharm. This is, I was telling Tyrone, a companion palette. So my idea wouldn't be to wear these by themselves. It would be to wear with indie singles. You know which one I like? I like this one. You know what? Maybe I don't need both of these.
I would get rid of
this one.
No, the other one looks kind of dried out.
It's not. They don't swatch great. Viseart doesn't. Viseart has one of the longest shelf lives of 3 years for their palettes. So it might be going on 3 years, which means it can last like 6 probably. So this one is the dark matte. I would keep this one. I really like the mattes in this. And these mattes are nice, but these are a little more common. I think I can declutter this one. I feel good about that because I was not planning on that. Yes. But I want to keep this one for sure. All All right, I'm gonna show you some palettes side by side because we gotta make some decisions. I cannot keep all of these. I'm gonna start with these palettes here, okay? The 3 of these. One is going to go, okay? I know which one should go. I wanna know which one you think. So this is Bijouette. Have not used these yet, y'all. I haven't used this one. I love this, and I believe Viseart is magnetic. I think these are bust downs. So I love that because it's like a rainbow palette without being a rainbow palette. I think that one's great. I don't know if this is called Le Marais. I don't know. This one came out this year. Love that. This is just like everyday, easy palette. That's why I don't need those other mattes. And I like that they're so small like this. This is the one, Soleil La Plage. This is the one I think can go because I think with having these two, this one is probably unnecessary. One of these is unnecessary. And if I had to pick, it would be this one.
You opened up.
This one.
Yeah.
Because these are more my colors. And then we see some repeats. So I think this one can go. I think I may have swatched some shades. And it's nice. Like Viseart quality is very, very nice. I don't need all of these. I think it's a bit overkill. So we're going to declutter that one. And just so y'all know, like, you know, I'll be donating a lot of this stuff. And I don't really have a lot of friends that like makeup. But it's not going to be wasted.
We're not putting it in the trash.
No, we're not. We're not, unless something has gone bad, because I don't want anybody to think that, because you know the reality is this is excess. It's excess. This is like really hitting home to me about what I need to be doing as far as purchasing and just being a little more careful. This is the Bouillon. You know what's so funny? I did not want to declutter this, but now when I look at this and I look at the other ones I probably have these shades in it. What do we think about this?
I would keep that because to me it's something small and you can keep it in the bottom of your purse or something like that. You know.
Okay.
It's not
all right.
too big,
Yeah. Yeah. I like that. I like that they do quads.
You never know what kind of situation you'll be in. You might need to
touch up something.
Rob a bank and might need to change your face
What?
so they don't know it was you, and you know you got that with you. You know.
That's fine. So we're gonna keep that. This one is the Paris Etoile. I haven't used this one yet. I thought it was kind of cool, like nice, like cool story, but I haven't used it.
Would you consider on using it before you make a decision on decluttering it, just to see? You know what I'm saying?
If I can declutter it and it's brand new, I would rather do that.
Okay.
And so what I'm asking myself is, do I have any plans for this palette? And I feel like I'm just putting too much thought into it. So I don't know. I think maybe we should let it go. I don't know.
I feel like you're very emotional about this right now.
Yeah. Ariel was like, this one's nice. So maybe.
Why don't you give it to your sister?
Because Ariel doesn't put makeup on. And she'll be like, well, I'm not even going to wear it. This is the. Okay. This is the Choo Choo palette. Chow Chow Choo Choo. What do we think about this? I wasn't thinking about getting rid of this, but now that I'm looking at it, why did I even get this? I'm just thinking of all the other things I have because.
I would declutter that one.
Over the Paris. Because I like this. It just reminds me
of like. You know when Walmart has that makeup on sale around the holidays, it'd be like in the middle of the aisles at Walmart. Oh. That's what it reminds me of. Because
I'm just saying, I like these better. These two I really like a lot. I like that.
So keep them two and declutter that one.
Okay.
Because you're not going to use it.
All right, put it there. That's fine. So what are we saying about Paris Etoile?
We're going to keep them.
Paris? Mm-hmm. All right, let's keep Paris. Let's keep Bouillon. Now, the last Viseart one I think I probably should declutter is the Spritz Edit. Just because having all of these shades, I don't think I am going to be needing this one. And I do have a lot of these types of shades in my collection. You know, even the Bayadere, the Dior one yesterday. I mean, just thinking about that Dior one that you said you like. These are the same color, so I know I'm going to find them again. Like, look, I see them here. I see them in here. So, like, how many palettes am I going to need with this color story? And I feel like a lot of these shades have not really even been touched. So, I'm going to say declutter. That's crazy. I don't want to go through all of these, y'all. Do I need to go through all my sweet shops? Because the sweet shops are staying. Pistachio, these aren't going anywhere. Bubblegum, You just put them on the other side. BH, blueberry muffin, avocado toast.
That's the name.
Cherry on top.
Brand?
No, Bad Habits. Remember Beauty Hostage.
Okay.
Sugar cone. These are great. Orange sorbet, one of my favorites. Ooh, cotton candy. So we're actually gonna keep all the sweet shops. All right, Anastasia, let's do this. Jackie Aina's gonna stay. I think I want to keep Soft Glam. I don't even think I've used this. Now this is your little Court Everyday palette.
Oh yeah.
Classic. I haven't purchased from Anastasia really like that because I'm not, but I already have these. So Norvina, I like this one too. It's like a cool purple vibe. Sultry, this is another reason why I said I was going to get rid of Black Bow by Dior because I really like this palette a lot. Now this is the one I'm going to declutter. This is the Primrose palette. It's okay. Very powdery. The one shade I really like is this shade Fire Opal, but I cannot keep this whole palette for this one shade. But look at that.
It's like a copper look.
But look how, did you see how it swatched around my arm like that? But you know what, like, come on. It's a bracelet. Like, it's great. But none of the other shimmers are like that in this palette, except this one. I can't take it out. So, you know, it's got 2 blushes in it. It's nice, but I think I have this. You know, I looked at the Viseart palettes. I'm looking at the Viseart palettes and everything else. So I'm going to declutter Primrose. This is a palette from one of my students. This is the Currency palette. What brand is this? Lorella. So you know I keep this from my student. I have not swatched it or done anything yet. She is waiting for me to do a review. So we're gonna go ahead and keep this. Actually, I've never heard of this brand.
Throw that on around St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah, like it's really pretty. So she gave it to me for Christmas and we're gonna keep it, y'all. We're gonna keep it. All right, this is the 669 palette from Martine Cosmetics. This is a gift from my friend Jamie, also known as Makeup Release Radar Official. This is a grungy lover's dream. And I don't think that this has the best formula, but it's also been a while since I've used it. I do like the color story of this palette a lot. And I'm definitely not ready to give this one up. So I would like to use this again. It's nice and grungy. And the last 2 palettes are my Vive palettes. So I have the Essential palette and the Muse palette. And y'all, I think these are going to be decluttered. I hate to say that, but I cannot have all these repeats. What I will say about the Essentials palette, this palette has great mattes, but the shimmers, there's only 3, but they are not great at all. And I know you're supposed to use a glitter glue or primer or something like that, but they are not excellent at all. And the thing is, at this point, I have mattes all over the place that are great. Like, just look at Viseart. Like, I have mattes all over the place that are awesome. And I love Jamie Genevieve, who's the owner of the brand. I think she is a great makeup artist. But at this point, I don't feel like this palette is really serving me anything. And this could probably be rehomed. Then she came out with the Muse palette, which is also very nice with the mattes. And then she did change the shimmers up. And again, these, I don't need the shimmers to be super like sparkly or anything. But I just feel like the shimmers are just okay.
It's not wowing me. It's not amazing quality. It's nice quality.
I don't want to declutter something and then be like feeling bad later. Like, oh, I should have.
Out of sight, out of mind.
I don't think I'm going to feel bad about decluttering these.
I don't think you will neither.
So that's it, y'all. Can you count what's in the declutter pile? After that, I'm going to give y'all a final palette count. And I'm really, really excited about this. And remember, I started out, now that I got everything together, it was really 287 palettes. So I'm going to have to like take a break and see where we are. All right, you guys, I'm back. And I just did the final palette count. So I started with about 287 palettes. Honestly, I think I may have had more than that. But now I'm down to 213 palettes. And this will be the last declutter video. But I'm really excited. And I feel so good. But I think most importantly, I realized that I was consuming a lot last year. And I really want to make a change this year. So So far, I've bought 2 palettes, and they are the Lethal palettes that I created myself. And, you know, I've bought my Sydney Grace bundle, and I had some palettes gifted. But this really shows me, like, the amount of money that I've spent. I know, you know, a good portion of these palettes were gifted, but this brings a lot of clarity to what I'm doing and what my channel is about and the direction that I want to go, because this is not it. So I'm really happy to have done this declutter, and thank you guys for hanging out with me and with Tyrone through all of the declutter videos. There was just no way for me to just film one, because this was a lot of palettes, and I mean, I really went through everything, but I feel great about it. And you know, something might come over me where even some of the ones that I've decided to keep will go. You know, we'll see how I'm using these products throughout the year, but for now I feel good. I feel lighter. I've decided to declutter about 74 palettes, and that's huge. That's a huge amount of palettes that most of them are in such great condition they can be rehomed to people that are really going to use them and get the use out of them that I'm not going to get because I have so much excess. So I really hope you enjoyed this, and I hope that, you know, it was inspiring to you. You know, I hate feeling like I've created a lot of waste, but you know, I'm going to make sure that the items that I'm decluttering are not being wasted and that they're going to be able to be used by others. So that's it. I'll probably have some more thoughts soon, but it's getting late, so I am going to end it here. Thank you so much for taking out some of your time and hanging out with me for another one today. I hope this was therapy for you. It always is for me. And until I see you again, make sure you're being gentle with yourself. Talk to yourself nice, stay safe, and I will see y'all really soon. Bye.